Breaking news. 51-year-old American missing in Colombia. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, Racing Borders. And now, news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, Racing Borders. I'm DC Rob. Let's jump into this story right away. I have two different versions of this story because, again, some media outlets add different and more information in some instances, and this is no different. Let's jump into Noticias Caracol Primero. African-American citizen missing in Barranquilla for 11 days. 51-year-old African-American citizen identified as James Troublefield does not speak the Spanish language, his wife said. According to witnesses, the man was seen in the north of Barranquilla. James Troublefield is a 51-year-old African-American citizen who completes this Sunday, December 3rd, 11 days missing in the city of Barranquilla. Rosdelys Flórez, his wife, filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office and asked the United States Embassy in Colombia for help to expedite the search for her romantic partner. The woman pointed out that she has not heard from the African-American citizen since last November 21st. Rosdelys said that it was the first time that her husband traveled to Barranquilla and that, furthermore, he does not speak the Spanish language. In the last message he sent to me, he told me that he really loved me. He told me, "I love you." I received that in the morning. I tried to contact him, but his cell phone was turned off. What really interests me is knowing where he is. Yes, it's fine, the woman said in dialogue with Blue Radio. According to the station, several witnesses mentioned that the African-American citizen was seen in the north of Barranquilla. However, the man's wife says she has no exact information about his whereabouts. Okay, that's the first story. I'm going to meet you on the other side of this one just to give my little 2 cents. But the next one is from InfoBay, and they have a little bit more information. An American tourist disappeared in Barranquilla. What happened to James Troublefield? The North American citizen was visiting the city for tourism, and before disappearing, he sent a strange message to his wife. Since then, there have been no trace of the man, although some witnesses claim that they have seen him in the city. James Troublefield, a 51-year-old African-American tourist, has been missing in Barranquilla for 13 days, according to his relatives. The foreigner came to the capital of the Atlantic to spend a vacation, and since then, he lost contact with his family. The situation occurred in the Santa Maria neighborhood in the metropolitan area of Barranquilla. His wife, Rosdelys Flórez, 28 years old and of Venezuelan nationality, revealed that her romantic partner communicated for the last time via a text message on November 21st, telling her, "I love you." The last message he sent me, he told me that he really loved me. He said, "I love you." I received that in the morning. Then I tried to contact him, but his cell phone was turned off. Really, what interests me is knowing where he is, if he's okay, more than anything, said the woman in dialogue with Blue Radio. What worries his relatives is most that James Troublefield, a man with dark skin, black eyes, and a height of 1.6 meters, does not speak Spanish and was visiting Barranquilla for the first time. So they do not understand who he could have interacted with before he disappeared. Furthermore, they assured that he knows little about the country since the African-American with a big mouth, black hair, and thick build has lived most of his life in North America in the United States. According to what the woman said, when trying to locate the location of her partner's cell phone, its location revealed Barranquilla, a destination that took Flórez by surprise, since she was not aware of James' stay in the city. Likewise, she does not know what the reasons for the trip may be, although some indications suggest that he came to the Atlantic capital for tourism reasons. James Troublefield has been missing for 13 days, although some witnesses claim to have seen him in the northern area of Barranquilla, credit social networks. Meanwhile, Troublefield's wife has filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office while requesting help from the United States Embassy in Colombia to accelerate the search for her husband. What generates more uncertainty for the family is that after a photograph of the American was made public in several social media publications, some witnesses claim to have seen the foreign citizen in the north of Barranquilla. So the authorities have not been able to determine if it is a case of kidnapping or if the man decided to disappear voluntarily. For now, local authorities, including the Barranquilla Metropolitan Police and the Missing Persons Unit of the Prosecutor's Office, are collaborating in the investigation and hope that Barranquilla residents will provide the key to the information that may lead to the whereabouts of James Troublefield. Likewise, family members and investigators are trying to trace whether the 51-year-old American arrived in Barranquilla on a domestic flight from another city, or if he would have landed in the international pier. Meanwhile, the international community is also attentive to the whereabouts of the American, and it is expected that the efforts made by the U.S. Embassy and the Colombian authorities will help solve the mystery behind the disappearance of this African-American tourist in Barranquilla. So there you go. The reason I wanted to meet you on this side is because, again, just like this story mentioned, and the first one didn't, does this gentleman want to be found? This has happened to me in the 5.5 years I've been doing this. I will say at least 2, maybe 3 times that people were missing, were actually wanting not to be found. Let's put it that way. So in this case of what could have happened poorly, or something negative could have happened to him, let's try to think that maybe he doesn't want to be found. In those 2 or 3 cases that I've dealt with in the past few years, they've communicated to me via backdoor that they were fine and just wanted to let it go. Most of those cases end up on, social media. And I'm sorry, I can't go by social media. When I read these stories, these are from legit news stories. If there's something from Facebook, I'm not going to show it. If there's something from TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, that's not news. Anybody can put anything on social media. Anybody can say somebody's missing. Somebody could put up a picture today to say it's Rob, DC Rob is missing. And, if I don't correct that soon, or you don't see a video of me coming out soon, then you may think that's possible. I only go by the news that's there, or a reputable one like InfoBay, somebody that is reputable worldwide, if not a local publication. I'm not going to go on Facebook. Matter of fact, I avoid Facebook like the plague. So if you've ever sent me a link, and chances are I can't even access it from my phone anyway. So just with that said, if I will put this out to the missing gentleman right now, that if you do not want to be found, just hit me up through the back door. It's not hard to find me, and let me know, but I need to know it's you. And let me know that you just don't want to be found, and this story will be dropped. Otherwise, I will stay on top of this story until you are found, and make sure that your picture and this brief video, stays in front of people, because we want to make sure that all tourists, not even going to say especially Americans, but tourists from North America, obviously, I'm concerned about, but I'm also concerned about anybody who should happen to come up missing from Canada or, I don't know, Europe. Doesn't matter. If you are in Colombia, and this is why I do this news, to try to be of some benefit, some service. So if you don't want to be found and you're watching this video, and if you didn't watch this video, somebody should have passed it on to you. But if you don't want to be found, hit me up through the back door and I will drop this story. If in fact I don't hear anything, then I'm going to continue to follow up on this. And I have a couple of sources there too that help me follow up on some of the sources, because the media does not do a good job with following up on a lot of stories. But in most cases, when I do get more information, I'm not able to share it. So I don't bring up an update on the story, because again, it's not a media source. It's from somebody I know, even as reputable as they may be. And most of the times they don't want their information out there anyway. So I don't follow up on a lot of stories, even though I may have an inkling as to what happened. And again, I communicate with a lot of the families and a lot of friends of those who have had issues there before. And it's all the same. I try to keep hush what they want to keep hush. And I try to let you know what may benefit them and what may benefit the affected person most. Anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us, and have a pleasant day.
Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.